Go ahead, Christy.
Hello, everyone. How are you guys are doing? It's a good day. I can see you
Hello,
about the replay
hello.
now. Look at Anna.
Hey, girl. Hey, Rico.
Hey,
Rico
Hey,
hey, what's up? What's up? What's
Smiley.
going on?
Go, Rico. Go,
girl, you
Rico.
know you look cute today. Enrico in his pink. Look at him supporting breast cancer.
Pink Lives
Yeah,
Matter.
yeah, yeah. I guess you call it that. That's my I think that's my birth month color.
You're in October?
Yeah, yeah, I'm October man.
Me too.
Me
Oh
too.
yeah? Oh, okay, that's what's up. That's what's up. All Libras across the board. That's a good balance, huh?
Yes.
That's what's up. See, we just figured out something we didn't know about each other. And we're all good friends off air.
Good. Well, this show, thank you for tuning in. This is our show, and it is called Drumline My Way.
There you go.
And just think about it. How many times have you listened to some politics or you listen to a situation going on and you like, if I had my way, and then a sentence started. Or if I was president, this is the way it would go. Or this is my house, my way, my rules. So we decided to come up with a show called My Way. And here we're here to talk about all the things that are affecting our community and our society. But before we can begin anything, we want to introduce ourselves. So we're going to start with Miss Lunchtime Anna.
Hey, y'all. Okay, so I am 29 years old, and yes, I am 29 years old. I do the Morning Glow show Monday through Friday, as well as Lunchtime with Anna on Wednesdays. I love people, but most importantly, I love Christ. That is my first, my second, and my third. I will not make a step forward before fasting and praying. Everything I do, I fast and I pray about. And I love rescuing animals. Well, I won't say animals, I'll say dogs. So I love my dogs. I have a bull mastiff here who is a beautiful boy. I love my baby, but I've rescued them all. I do live somewhere in the state of Georgia. I do plan after, I'd say within the next 6, 7 years, I do plan on moving back to the Sunshine State, to the state of Florida. The northern part, we'll say the northern, if I'm looking at the map, the northern western part, and anybody who knows the state will know around the area I'm talking about. So, and that's pretty much it. I don't know too much more to say about me. Christy and I spoke about the show. We both prayed about it. We have special guest Rico. I don't want people to think that Rico, who knows, he might end up being part of this show too. So we have Rico as a special guest today, and I love his point of views. Christy does as well, because he'll bring it like you won't expect it. So, and like I said, Christy and Rico are really good friends of mine off air. And if you guys just knew how we all met, you guys be like, what? Life does like some crazy twists and turns, but it was all meant to be. We've all parted from how we met and how we all connected, and now we're all here with DKM Media Group and Associates. I'm trying to think what else to say. For me, it's really hard to talk about myself, describe myself. Oh, I am a co-pastor. I am the manager of DKM Media Group and Associates. I'm trying to think what else. Not anything else special. Certain private things I don't talk about on air. And that's about it. I think that's big that I do on my time. If I'm missing anything, you guys can remind me. Certain private things you guys know I don't talk about, but besides that, that's about it, right?
It's up to you.
You see what I'm saying about Rico? So he just does this. Oh, I'm a Puerto Rican. I'm Latina. I'm of Puerto Rican descent. I bring that different twist, that Latin twist, like I do in the Morning Glow and like I do on the Lunchtime with Anna. So I am of Puerto Rican descent, and I think that's about it. I think I've pretty much given you guys enough to know. Okay, I pretty much know who I'm dealing with, and that's that. So that's I think it with me.
Oh, so y'all want me to introduce myself, the guest?
Or yes, you can. You see, Christy gonna come with that bomb at the end.
Say what now?
Christy
Hey.
gonna come with the atomic bomb at the end. So yes, you can introduce yourself if you like.
Okay. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I am the guest of the show My Way. My name is Rico Jackson, aka Coblo. I do a reading called Coblo's Daily Therapy. I'm a local activist in the city of Anniston, Alabama, home of the infamous Freedom Rider bus bombing, and at one time the largest lawsuit of environmental poisoning in the history against Monsanto. Not nothing to brag about, you know what I'm saying, but I know about injustice. If you want to ask about injustice, I know about it. I'm 47 years old. That's my real age. Hey, I'm just saying that's my real age. I could go for younger, I believe. That's why I said that. And y'all don't think I can go for younger?
I don't know, boy. Do you dye your hair?
Huh? If I take the gray off now, I can go for a little bit younger now. I'm just on here to get a male perspective. I'm just on here to get a male perspective of a male point of view and doing my good friends a favor. Go ahead. I'm passing it on to the next one.
And I hope you guys do know, that's why I constantly talk to Rico often, because he does so many things for the community, and I hope to work with him in the future. And one thing he just reminded me of that I totally forgot, and I don't know how that slipped my mind. I am the CEO and founder of We See You Human Justice Organization. I am proud to say that every case I have taken on this year has successfully closed. So no negative cases thus far. And I dedicate myself to doing this a lot on my free time. So I forgot to mention that. I don't know how I would forget something so big, because that is something that I work around the clock 24/7. I get calls all the time at 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, believe it or not, y'all. So, and I'm sorry, Christy, because I know I went out of order, but I forgot that.
You're fine. My name is Christy. I am 25, real age. Anna's 29.
Yes,
we don't know where Rico coming in with this 44. Have no idea.
He said 43, girl. You gave him a
I said 33. 33.
I be on DKM radio in the morning for the Morning Glow. And I'm a mom. I'm a workaholic, but I love my community, and I love the fact that we can do things to help our community. And I believe that this can reach many people. You just have to call in to 1-678-381-1973. You can voice your opinions. You can talk to us, because it's just like talking to your sister on a stoop. There is My Way also supports, and we will be talking about the We See You movement at a later time. So just want to let y'all know that we are here, and we're going to open with prayer. Mr. Rico, would you lead us in prayer?
Rico won't do that, girl.
I think you might want to pass that to the next. Pass that on to Anna.
Rico be slipping up.
Yeah,
you might not want that, girl.
Yeah, go ahead and cover that part, Anna.
She got it. You know what? I'll open up. Thank you, Lord. I thank you for this time, and I come to you if we've sinned against you or sinned against anyone else, and I ask for you to forgive us. I also pray that this show touches many people, whether it's a man, a woman, or child, in many different ways. The topics that you're about to bring into our heart and mind, let it be of you and only of you. We also pray that we can make change in people's lives, that in the 58 countries that we're heard and nationwide that we're heard, please touch somebody. Please let people keep hearing your voice over everything when it comes to this show. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Did we lose Christy?
Something happened.
Okay. So, and Christy, I told you I'm not one of these impromptu like to pray. So I hope that was okay.
It was great.
So would you like to start? I'm waiting on a text that's going to come in. It's going to be an anonymous text. It's going to be somebody speaking about what it is to be groomed as a child and be sexually abused as a child by someone that you know, family member. For you, Christy, would you like to start? Do you want me to start, or would you like to ask Rico a question from a male's perspective? Now, I would like to remind everyone that Rico has not been accused of any type of sexual assault or anything of that nature, because I saw his face. He was like, not me. So I just want to make sure that that's clear and out in the air. Rico has not been in no shape, form, or manner accused of anything like that. So that's totally your call, honey, how you'd like to start it, and I will back you up on whatever.
Okay. So we're going to talk about, or what I want to talk about is, in general, we need to talk about what sexual assault is. We need to talk about what is sexual harassment, what is molestation, and get a clear understanding, because some people always like to justify what they're doing and lose sight of what their really meaning is. So, for sexual abuse, that is when someone does something to you that you have not condoned to. Now, to all my people who are, I don't know what to call it, Rico, like it kinky or like to do those type of things, play a role play or whatever, that's totally different. Now, if you role playing and you playing and he's, that's
I
different.
hope they're married.
Rico, that's different.
This is a
But
Christian station. I hope they married.
so, Rico, what is your opinion of what do you think, and what is your opinion of sexual abuse or molestation and sexual harassment in your opinion? Like, and how would you handle being sexually harassed at work?
Oh man, that's a good question. That's a very good question. My single celibate opinion is, well, for instance, like
hang on, Rico. And I'd like to tell the listening audience that Rico has been, say it. You just
single.
said it.
Oh, celibate.
For how long?
I ain't told you all that, man. I ain't done nobody business.
But he is saving himself for the right girl. I do want the listening audience to know that, in case you are interested in Rico worldwide or nationwide. Same thing with Christy. And that's that.
Long enough. that's how long enough. But I mean, long enough to however long it take till, it's worth more than what it's normally been. But my honest opinion, being that I'm just coming from a basic, sector of society, it really depends on the situation. Now, in the right or wrong aspect, at work, any sexual harassment from a female to a male should be unwarranted. Me, myself, personally, I can honestly say that it would probably depend on who the woman was. Because I am a man, and I would be being very dishonest if I would say that I wouldn't look at how attractive she was, depending on maybe if I was already attracted to her in the first place. But it happens. It very much happens, we have to let a lot of things fly over our heads sometimes. And then, if depending on the segment of society we come from, sometimes we might get ridiculed for not taking advantage of it. But you know, when on the harassment end of it, it's always wrong, regardless if you think she's attractive or not. It can backfire on you. If she's attractive and she has money, if it's something that benefits you, the reason why you go ahead and go through with it, it can be a bad outcome on the other end. So it's very risky in the workplace, to have somebody to actually embrace it. She might pass it on, or tell the next woman, and the next woman you might not be so attracted to. She might hold, keep have, if you don't take her, if you don't accept her the same way, hey, she might play with your money a little bit. Who's to say? Might get you fired. Might tell your business. Might, it's a lot of risk that come with that. So you really need to leave that behavior away from the workplace anyway. On the harassment side, it has to be definitely away from it.
So let me ask you a question, my friend. So in your opinion, so you would be okay with something like the movie Boomerang back in the day?
Would I be okay with it?
I just saw Boomerang for the first time the other day because, I'm 29 and I think it's playing on Netflix or on Prime. And so I was able to watch that movie that I heard was from way back in the day. So is that what you mean by the sexual harassment at the workplace?
Like that. Yep. You have it like that sometimes. You have it like that sometime. And then, that entire movie was really about karma. That karma that came back around because he was, willing to be with another person. But what was a Strong J? She came on a little heavy, wasn't she? She was so serious. But it comes off like that. Now,
but you would be okay with that?
Huh?
You would be okay with that? That was her question.
It depends. I don't think it. Like I said, I'm being chauvinistic. On the superficial end, if she was Beyonce, I probably would slip. You get what I'm saying?
That's why I like Rico. Rico's honest about it. At least he says it how it is. So you would probably slip, is what you're saying.
I probably would slip and embrace it.
Aside, you would slip.
I'll probably pour it on just as heavy as she did. But now if it was Grace Jones, I'd probably be like, wait a minute, I don't appreciate that. I'm a virgin. I go to church. I'm saving myself. I'll make up. I actually did that before, Toast, about changing my life. I'm trying to change my life and do better. I'm trying to quit all that fornicating. So
I can't with him.
So I'm gonna be honest. It is sexual harassment either way. But from a man's perspective, some men probably would accept it depending on who the woman is.
Wow. So you would slip up and you would actually ignore it, even just because a woman, in your opinion, whoever it may be, whatever her name may be, however she looks, because if she would be of your taste, you would not consider that sexual harassment. That's what you're saying.
You would actually get it confused because you are already attracted to her anyway. Think about it. Would you accept it as harassment if you are already attracted to them? You would just think they were making a pass at you.
You know what? You do have to admit that when there's a male who's nice looking in the office, and I'm talking about the office, how many people flirt, grab, talk about his chest, play little games, flirt. Yes. And that's not sexual harassment because you have to be in authority in order for it to be sexual harassment. So let's say me and you are co-workers and you coming on, you're trying to talk to me and fill me up or whatever. It is sexual harassment on co-levels, but you cannot determine whether I move up or down based on my because you're not my boss. So sexual harassment becomes a problem when it's a boss and a person that's under them, and they can be fired, or they can determine their raise or stuff like that. So if it's just two co-workers kind of going at it, I don't know. Because women, if we don't like the dude and he touches, we will say sexual harassment. Now we like him and he kind of cute, we might be like, boy, stop.
Oh no, I won't. Okay, so on this one, I have to disagree. I love both of you dearly, and y'all know that on a personal level. Anything y'all need, I'm here as a sister in Christ and as a friend. Sexual harassment is sexual harassment. The policy book clearly states what sexual harassment is. I don't care how cute he is.
Anna,
Yes, ma'am.
go back to your days. Go back.
Girl, no. And let me tell you, no. So this is the truth. This is, and I'm keeping it real. I'm keeping it real with y'all. Okay, this is, and y'all know. And I actually spoke of this sometime. I don't remember if it was yesterday or Thursday on the show. I actually ran into a guy. I'll just say at a car wash. I'm sitting here cleaning out my Mustang. Y'all know I love driving my sports car, okay? So I'm cleaning out my Mustang. And all of a sudden I have this guy come up to me, whom I used to work with, and he's like, "Man, I felt that tension between you and I." And I'm like, "Tension?" So I'm like, "What tension?" And I'm like, there was no, and my face is so confused. And y'all know I can't hide a face, right? Because the Latina in me is just like, we don't know how to hide faces. Right? So I'm like, what tension, right? So I'm puzzled. I'm just looking at him. He's like, the tension. Here goes my number. Call me. I'd love to do dinner or lunch or whatever. If you can make the time. And I'm like, there was no tension. Like, seriously. And I'm telling dude, yo, there was no tension. There was no nothing. So I think he had tension towards me. I don't know what that was about, but there was no tension. I'm telling y'all, as your friend and your sister in Christ, there was no tension. So I'm like, where are you getting the idea that there was tension? There was no tension. So obviously he felt this type of way. And I will say this, I'm not the type of woman that likes being single or has liked in the past being single. And Christy, you can say back in your day. So I'll just say like the last 10, 15 years from the time I was 15 till I was 29, right? So I've always been in a relationship. I guess I feared being alone for a while. The most I think I was alone was 2 years and almost 3. So I feared that, and there was no tension in my job. Trust and believe, I did not work with anybody that was good looking, and even if they were, I didn't pay attention like that. Like my mind be other places. And now I can't go up to a guy and be like, or a guy come up to me and be like, "Yo, my chest looks cute," because I'd be like, "Okay, well that's good for you. I'm glad you're good looking. That's all you. I'm, And Rico always talks about me for this because I'm like, oh, I know I look cute, but I'm not flirting with anybody. I'm not trying. That's just how I am. You say the same thing all the time too, my friend. You're like, oh, I know I look cute. I know you ain't trying to get with any of the guys from the station. This is a Christian station.
I'm cute.
See what I'm saying?
I know I'm cute. But look, I don't lie to people. I tell them I'm PHAT. I'm pretty hot and tempting because I'm a BBW. I'm big, beautiful, and bold. But even with the flirtating things, like I get accused of flirting all the time, which I don't think is flirting, but other people do because you holding a conversation, you twirling your hair, you giving that little smile. Women, you know what we do when we interested. We play them little games. And the same thing with guys. But for Rico, like I'm just me. This is me. I love to know men perspective and see their sight on things. Because women, it's really our way, right? So, I just want to know about Rico. Like, how do you feel in the workplace? Because you're a nice looking young man. And
Thank you.
And you single.
Make me smile.
See, that's what he wanted to hear. I got to show you on how to act. Rico he be like, I
know. I'm so cute. And so, I know you deal with all types of women. You didn't deal, I'm quite sure you didn't deal with women that done lied about things that they've done. You've been with women that's probably done said they're gonna do one thing, and then when you get behind closed doors, it's something different. So as a man, that's single and that's at the age of 44. How is the dating different than when you were 25 or younger, like my age?
Well, yes, that is really hard for me to say, because coming from my background and how I was brought up, I never really dated for the right reasons. But at the same time, it's very few women that I really took the time out to really want to get to know on a relationship level. Man, that's bad as the Christian Station, man, because I ain't gonna be able to let loose the way I.
No, you can say it. Just use the clean version of it. You can say
I
what
ain't
you
gonna
got
be
to
able
say.
to let loose the way I need to. I know that. I know it. And I know it's a Christian Station. And like I just said, I ain't gonna be able to let it loose the way I need to. But at
Absolutely.
the same time, man, it's like, I don't know. That's really a hard question to ask about the dating, because everything went so fast paced in my generation. You know what I'm saying? It really got to the point where we skipped all the get to knowing each other and courting and this and that, and we got right down to the business in my generation. And it's still that way pretty much. A lot of people really move too fast, which really is an example of why our community is the way it is, with households, people having children. And like, I got children by women I do not like. You know,
You like that one point to
You
create?
make the only one point.
I like them at one point. You get what I'm saying?
Man, I don't like.
I like them at one point, but I didn't take enough time to get to know them enough to know what I wasn't gonna like.
You had to like them a whole lot.
Exactly.
To get to that point.
Exactly. But I didn't take the time to get to know them enough to realize that was moving too fast. You know what I'm saying? And so that, coming from that generation, now it seems like I see a cycle of the same thing. You know, women that I meet want to sell me an image of what they feel like a woman should be, just like men do the same thing. They sell an image of what they feel like a woman looks for in a man. And a lot of times with us looking for that, it sounds good, especially if it looks good, it sounds even better. So we'll believe it. We'll be more willing to believe that. And over time, you start realizing that person has deceived me. That is totally not what they did. I should have dug a little deeper. Maybe I was looking at superficial reasons to go ahead and believe that the words they were saying were true. And a lot of times we got to understand, we just can't believe what people say. We have to look at actions. So now that leads me to being celibate now, because over time, out of all the women I've dealt with, there's been very few that actually stood by who they were when I first met them. You get what I'm saying? They actually, a lot of them turned. So it made me start learning more and more to take my time, you know, go a little slower. I've always discerned and had standards as far as when it came to a relationship, but if I didn't find a relationship type, then I just found whoever I could still relieve my stress with and have fun with it. It was a physical thing. You get what I'm saying? But when it came to finding that relationship person who I want to invest my time with, sometimes I still got deceived.
I hope y'all hearing him, ladies. Did you hear what he said? I hope y'all hearing a man point of view, because I'm listening. And did you say it was a physical thing? So men can be physical without emotions.
Absolutely.
And women are physical with emotion.
Absolutely.
You know, and I love your maturity in your answer, because at 25, your mind frame changes. And in that, you know, those people that have been molested, raped, or abused, their mind frame and relationships are different. You know, they're more physical than emotional. You know, it's not that attachment they're looking for, because they haven't been taught that is a point of love, or should be done in love and not in lust. You know, there's a difference. And you know, that hole that we were talking about, that emptiness that we have, and we try to fill it with another person. I know, how many times have you seen or heard someone say, oh, he completes me, or she completes me? And I had to learn that you have to be a whole person in the beginning that no one person should complete you, that you should be completely and whole. So when you do come together, you are two whole people coming into one, not two broken people. So there's healing that has to take place. And you know, we're saying my way, but my way sometimes is the wrong way. You know, we have to look at God's way. You
Thank
know,
you.
so God's way is best for us, but a lot of times we want to do it my way or the highway. I want to get out here and have a good time. So I'm gonna drink, smoke, I'm gonna have sex. And then when we start doing all those things, then we open up our community to fatherless children, STDs, all kinds of diseases. We open, so I do believe that we have to start talking about the things that's hurting us. Please call in. Our phone lines are open, 678-381-1973. Let's have a discussion on men versus women. Let's talk about the sex abuse. We could talk about sex in the workplace. We can talk about all these different things because it affects us today. Even in this pandemic that we're in. How's it affecting you guys? How's it affecting your sex life? Are you afraid to become intimate with your spouse because of the COVID-19? Because spouses are giving it to each other. What about
That's
children that are around
interesting.
each other? So it's a lot to talk about.
Well, there's a lot of married couple that don't even go there. Like they don't even. It's like whatever. I see you every day. So, but I also wanted to mention, Rico, you had a great point there, and it's something that I as a woman don't really think about, and that's why I have my male friends and I have my girlfriends, and I like to see those different perspectives. Um, how it is, and I'm going to ask you about this since you're a lot older than me. In the 90s, do you have children that are from the 90s?
Yeah, me, I got my boys are 93 and 94.
You have what?
I really I couldn't hear y'all. Y'all keep breaking up. It's like the connection is going all kind of crazy. So I can only hear certain parts, bits and pieces.
I was asking if you have children that are from the 90s.
Yes,
Born in
yes.
the
I got my oldest son, 93 and 94.
90s. Okay. How do you think that the R&B from that time affected your children being born in 93 and 94? You don't have to say names or anything. I know that's your personal privacy. But how do you think that genre of music, which is one of my favorite genres of music, affected that for you? I know all y'all got kids from the 90s.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I guess that really shows you the influence of media and music, huh? It really, because I can honestly say that music sometimes made it the way I didn't have to say words. It just set the mood. It set the tone. And if you played it enough and looked at each other enough and said the right words or played shy enough, you know what I'm saying? You could transfer energy real subliminally. And that music could just do everything you needed to do. You said we ain't got to mention no names of the group, so I ain't gonna mention no names, but I had me a mega mix. We had CDs, and I had the 120-minute CD. I wanted to make sure it was a straight two. I wanted to make sure it was a 2-hour CD.
Boys,
he said a 2-hour CD. But with that being said, which goes right back to what he was saying, I asked this question for a reason. So the 90s, it opened that door. He said he didn't even have much to say. So when this took place, what did you turn around and do? Were you just like, okay, was it both of you guys? How do I put this? Unemotionally attached? Because, us women, as far as I'm concerned, when something like that takes place and everybody knows me in no shape, form, or manner condone any type of sexual fornication because I am a Christian and this is a Christian station.
Mm-hmm.
However, at that time in your life, when this did take place, was it like that for the both of you guys? Was it emotionally unattached?
I believe it was misplaced. I think it was somewhat emotionally attached, but we attached most emotions to sex. And that era, sex was actually what we believe showed you emotionally felt a certain way with certain people. So it was easily listening to certain love songs and get that mood that you feel that way about that person. Then you had some of us that were smart enough to just know to set the mood with those songs. But with women, most women, I think most women's ambitions are to be loved and cherished by a man, proposed to and married, wanted. And if those songs bring that emotion out of that woman, you know, it pretty much eases up, makes her guard go down a little bit. So I think, you know, you tie all those emotions to it, getting married, having a baby. You actually had music to say, hey, let's have a baby. Let's go half on a baby, whatever, you know. People associate that with love.
I know what song you're talking about, by the way. I heard that recently. I didn't know about it till just the other day. You know, so I'm 29.
Yep. So, I mean, you know, that's just the consequence of society. Media played a role in that. It made sex more. It made you desensitized to sex. We came up in the era where sex was you know, intercourse was it was desensitized. We listened to Luke Skywalker, 2 Live Crew. Just a lot of words we use towards women, you know, cuss words, period. Society itself opened up Pandora's box to a whole lot of stuff. Censorship opened up and we were exposed to it. Like the next generation of children right now are gonna see men marrying men and women marrying women, and that's normal to them. To us, pornography became normal at a certain time. At one point in time, being a stripper became cool, where at one time it wasn't cool. So, you know, the things that were once hidden and suppressed, and you put your Playboy magazines and hide them, pretty soon it became everybody want to be a Playboy model. Everybody want to be at the strip club. You know, it was a thing that people started embracing and condoning as a goal. So, you know, with that, we didn't understand the consequences of bringing children into the atmosphere that leads from that environment. A lot of children they're actually suffering from that right now.
Absolutely. And see, that was going to be my next question to you, because, you know, I am, and I try to empower because of what I do and my human justice organization. And I am, you know, in the public a lot, a public figure. How do you think that affected our community as brown and black folks? Or do you think it affected every single community of every nationality? Or how do you feel about that?
It affected ours worse because when I graduated high school, I didn't see too many people with both parents there that looked like me. Absolutely. But when I was growing up and I ran up and down the street, my grandparents were maybe in their 40s when I was born, and they had neighbors that were 40 years older than them. And there were a lot of 70-year-olds then, and I saw a husband and wife with 8, 9, 10, 12 children all in the same household, and those men and women died together. So I was like, man, that's lovely. That's what I wanted. If I'm gonna get married, I want to be married for 50, 60 years, and you know, we live together and die together. You know, that's how it happens. That's pretty much the fairy tale. Well, came to integration with my age group, I didn't see that. I started seeing less people, less happening. So that really was an indicator to me that somewhere we started mingling with people that we really didn't have nothing in common with. We started having just random sex and creating children with people that we didn't really have the right standards for. So, I mean, like, if you think about it now, you look at the divorce rate, that's what's going on. You got people getting together so fast and getting divorced, but at the same time, the children are the ones suffering from it. You know, what's making them move so fast?
Absolutely. And I do agree with you, because I agree at the fact that I myself didn't too much, as I've grown a little bit in maturity, didn't too much like who I had children with. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, I don't talk too much about my personal life. My personal friends know a lot a lot more of who, you know, my household is filled up and, you know, more things. But I wanted to read something to you that was sent to me. The name will be kept anonymous because this older woman wants to keep it private. And I wanted to know what your take on this was. I would say this woman's approximately your age or maybe a little bit younger. Um, and she is a true advocate for this. I worked with her with a human justice organization, and I've helped some children be saved from a certain situation. Okay. I can't go too much into detail because, you know, privacy reasons. So she says, I was molested by a family member and family friend back in the 80s. They wanted to sweep it under the rug and keep it in the family. I was angry and thought it was my fault. The signs are withdrawn. You get angry, depressed, and even suicidal, which I've done all of the above. Even when I have been an adult, I was at my uncle's funeral and I was in tears and felt like a kid. And I'm married with children today, and I couldn't face the person who molested me, which is a lot of people will say molestation. Sometimes it's rape. You know, sometimes they're not very clear about it. Like to me, R. Kelly was not molested; he was raped by a family member. So I'm not sure what, you know, this person's case actually was. But this person says, my family told me I should get over it and move on. How can you when you're so innocent and this was taken from you? Your innocence. If you know someone who is doing this to someone else, please report it. Or please report it to somebody who's older. What is your take on that?
My take is people tend to be cruel and not understand how trauma works until it affects them.
Absolutely.
And it's easy for them to tell people to hurry up and get over it when they don't want to spend a whole lot of time listening to your problems.
Absolutely.
But common sense, and I mean, every person has a basic human nature of self-preservation, and with that comes emotion. You're gonna have some pain if somebody do something to you, and at times if you can't take care of it yourself, you want somebody to take care of it for you. A child really can't get nobody to take care of it for them. You know, if nobody does it, they can't do it themselves. So that trauma, you know, that's not something that they can just get over or just, you know, I mean, you're being molded. You know, whatever you are as a young person, you're introduced to that, and these people, you know, you looking at these people to teach you and guide you. You're being molded into something that's gonna make you who you are from now on. And if you took that the wrong way, you're gonna take that the wrong way from now on. Now, if you didn't know any better and you enjoyed it, you might be ruining your life, but enjoying it by being promiscuous later on. You didn't know it was wrong. You just knew that you enjoyed it and didn't nobody tell you it was wrong and it kept happening. But if it caused you some pain and some trauma, that's something that has to be, you know, it has to be repaired. You have to get therapy for that. You just can't get over that. You have to have therapy either way it goes, because that promiscuous person that enjoyed it still might pass that behavior down to their children. They might mess with other family members and think that it's normal, and that behavior becomes incestuous in a cycle. But on the other side of it, for that person that's in pain, yeah, they need therapy. They just can't get over it, because whatever happens to you coming up, that makes you. If you in pain, then you are going to be an in pain person at 16, 26, 36, 46, or 56, till you can tell somebody, hey, that nasty person hurt me. So, you know, they really do have to have therapy. Nobody can just get over that. That's very inconsiderate and selfish for the next person to say that.
I have another text message here. Some of these people want to be kept anonymous. This one says, grooming. Grooming is when a person is preparing for their attack on another person. Ways of grooming is buying gifts or anything. The victim wants the villain. The victim wants to be the okay, I'm assuming that they meant the villain wants the victim, and they will go for the kill. And they're speaking the absolute truth. I've done many shows on this. As a woman and or a child and or female or male, in the case of somebody like R. Kelly, they were attacked by a woman, an older sister, a family member. He needs mental help. You know, was never treated for it. A lot of times it's because of society, because in the brown and black community, I will speak for what I know. I can't speak for what I don't know. A lot of times us mothers have to work and have to work 2 and 3 jobs, so we're never home. So guess what? When things like this happen, we're unaware. Or if we do find out about it, it's years after. I don't think that he came from a bad background. I think it was just circumstances, okay? When you have a mother that's working that hard because there's no father around, or the system doesn't let the father be around, educate yourself, please. Me, myself, I'm one of these that I will tell the community over and over again, educate yourself. Find somebody like Rico. Rico reads a book, and before we go off air, I want you guys to please follow him. He reads every day. And what he speaks about, sometimes I miss it, sometimes I'll go back and I'll just watch it while it's live. What he reads about is things that you guys should know about and educate yourselves. What we talk about in the Morning Glow is things that you guys should read or listen to and educate yourselves. What I talk about lunchtime with Anna, I don't just go on air because I want to be cute, you know, and be on air just to be cute. I want you guys to learn. I've taught you guys about grooming. I've talked to you guys about sexual assault. I've talked to you guys, and I will be doing a show along with Christy because this is her show specifically. I will be talking to you guys about, along with Christy, about what it is with these immigrants' children that have disappeared. I actually have a family member who's willing to go live and talk to you about the social worker and what it is that they do and how this person is specifically involved with these children that have been sexually abused, so forth, so on. You guys cannot ignore this. You guys, under any administration, cannot ignore this. You guys, I mean, you know, we made fun and Rico made jokes or whatever, but it is not fun for anybody to feel like you're being sexually attacked in any type of workplace. I have had people I worked for, men I worked for, tell me you're absolutely beautiful, try to corner me in the corner of a wall and tell me I want you, and it was just the most disgusting feeling. I never reported it because I was afraid of losing my job. One of the instances I did report it, and guess what? I got written up and fired. So it's just things for you guys to think about. Not that it mattered because I was able to get a job right away. I think there's certain situations where it's easier for some people to get a job than others. And I won't go into detail about that on air. If you'd like to message me privately and we'll talk about that. Certain things that are fair and not fair to each of us. For Rico, go ahead, Rico.
I want to tell you, it did matter because when you left, that perpetrator that was in there was still there to probably do it to the next female.
And
so it did matter, you know what I'm saying? Those are the situations where people need to stand up regardless, because anytime that no snitching policy, I don't believe in that, because you see so many people that might say no snitching and then they're on the news the next day saying, I know somebody saw something. What about when it's you? So like I said, that also what you said earlier about the woman, you know, they told her to get over it. When it's you, it's not that easy. So, you know, even though you were able to get another job, that person should have still been handled, because he's out here in the street to do it to somebody else.
And the funny thing about it is somebody else reported it because he liked hiring a certain type of look of girls. Somebody else reported it and he ended up getting fired. not so long after. So if I wouldn't have it reported it, and that's why I said if you'd like to message me, because we're running real short on time. If you'd like to speak with me later on about that, my father also worked for the EEOC. He retired from the EEOC and was working for the EEOC in the military, and actually worked in Atlanta and retired from it. I am very familiar with your rights, and I am willing to help anybody. Rico, we're running really short on time. So go ahead and let this listening audience know how they can contact you and how they can reach out to Rico, and if they have any questions, how to reach out to you. If you could, please.
You can reach out to me on my email at Mondrecco Jackson, MONDRECCO Jackson @gmail.com, or you can hit me on Facebook at Rico Jackson, RECO JACKSON. It's just like that on Facebook. And actually, if you could tune in when I do my Koblos Daily Therapy, as Anna said earlier, I read and I try to inform our people about people we should know about. You may not agree with all of them, because I don't agree with all of them. I don't follow all of them, but it's still good to know about all of them. So Absolutely. You can have the option to dig deeper and find out about people in our history that our schools won't teach us about.
And I also want you guys to know that Rico will be starting a show very soon. It's just some things have kind of backed it up. So be looking for that show very soon. How to reach me is at Ana Quiñones on Facebook, Quiñones Ana 471 at Instagram, on LiveMe, Quiñones Ana 471 on LiveMe. You can also reach me via email at WE, the letter C, YOU, the number 01 at gmail.com. You can also reach me at a fan page at We See You, WEC, the letter U. And you can also find me on Ana Quiñones, which is also a fan page. You can also find me on Lunchtime with Anna fan page as well. Any questions that you have, I'm always here for you as your Christian sister, as well as as a friend, so forth, so on. God bless each and every one of you guys. We will be airing every week, and Chrissy was not able to say bye because something came up. Every week on this show called My Way. God bless each and every one of you guys, and I thank you so much, Rico, for taking time out of your day with that pink shirt to come on. God bless y'all. Bye. Hugs. Bye.